Look, people need to understand, ICE officers and Border Patrol, they don't need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them. They just need the totality of the circumstances, right? They just got through the observation, get articulable facts based on their location, their occupation, their physical appearance, their actions. Like a uniformed Border Patrol agent walks up to them at for instance, a Home Depot. And they got all these articulable facts, plus the person walks away or runs away. Agents are trained what they need to detain somebody temporarily and question them. It's not probable cause, it's reasonable suspicion.
Articulable, sir. Articulable. All right? Syllables. When the guy in charge of the policing agency doesn't know how to say the word, I guarantee you he doesn't know how to read the statutory framework or the case law that surrounds it. Articulable facts, sir. That's the other part of it. My criminal law professor would be so pleased with me right now. Put him on full mask. Hell of a thing, man. This cat is literally on live television saying anti-constitutional doctrine without true challenge. The board of Czar, Tom Homan, says you can detain people based on physical appearance. Now he qualifies it and says ICE can detain people based on physical appearance. ICE is a policing agency. So if ICE can detain people on physical appearance, well, that means that any policing agency with constitutional authority can detain people on appearance, right? I mean, I'm just following the logic here, Tom. Can you be detained based on physical appearance? Because I feel like you need to be locked up. Now, if there's a person that has the arrest authority who says your physical appearance says to me incarceration, are they within the legal framework to do so? So Homan's on their comments on Fox sparked obviously a response from the Capitol Hill. Representative Daniel Goldman, who posted via Blue Sky that the Board of Czar's assessment was patently false. This is patently false, he says. DHS has authority to question and search people coming into the country at points of entry, but ICE may not detain and question anyone without reasonable suspicion, and certainly not based on the physical appearance alone. This lawlessness must stop. According to a recent report, a California farm worker has died after a 30-foot fall during an ICE raid. On Saturday, the man, Jamie Garcia, succumbed to his injuries after falling 30 feet off of a building. KABC reported an update on the family's GoFundMe page says, quote, "With heavy hearts, my uncle has passed away." End quote. Another quote, "Jamie was not just a farm worker. He was a provider and a human being who deserved dignity. His death is not an isolated tragedy. It is the result of a targeted raid at Glass House Farms. Workers were met not with protection, but with chaos and fear. Some were detained. Others were traumatized. Jamie lost his life. The family posted on social media. He's a farm worker. I had the great privilege last week of moderating a televised conversation with Dr. Bernice King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, who's the CEO of the King Center, and some of our Black and Brown coalition members, leaders in the community. And in that conversation, we had one young lady who was an advocate for farm workers, Special place in my heart. My dad was a farmer. He lost his farm because back then the government engaged in systemic discrimination to actively and intentionally deny Black farmers the same subsidies they would give whites. When I was 18 years old, my dad received a settlement from the government along with many others. Dr. Joseph Lowry was a big champion for that cause. The government admitted that they systematically and intentionally engaged in making sure that no black farmer received the same subsidy as white farmers. The money that they gave him helped me with my college life, but it failed in comparison to the money he would have actually had and the land that he would have actually owned, the land that I would have owned, my siblings, my children, their children's children. You see, the generational dynamic got disrupted and disrupted intentionally, and the government got to pay pennies on the dollar. Now, farming, we can all agree, agriculture, #1 industry on the planet Earth. #1. But why is it that the people that work in the #1 industry are not the #1 people in our hearts and minds? KBC reported that a family member who said Garcia fell about 30 feet off the building while he was possibly trying to run for federal agents. Garcia suffered a broken neck, broken skull. The hospital did not confirm Garcia's injuries. The Department of Homeland Security said he was not being pursued by law enforcement. He didn't know that because you all did not have a proper apparatus to protect individuals, nor to inform them, nor to let them know what the hell was going on. If you guys came in the way you come in to arrest, let's say, college students with masks and guns, where it would scare the hell out of anybody. Garcia's family has shared a GoFundMe, which we will share in the description of the video. Do the best you can. There were at least 2 large raids in Southern California last Thursday. Federal agents clashed with protesters during a raid at another farm in Ventura. One protester shared her account of what happened. Here it is.
It was almost unlike anything that we had ever seen before. Most of the protesters out there are your average people. We are average community members who have been volunteering our time to patrol our own streets to keep each other safe from these ICE agents, ICE thugs, I would say, who have been operating entirely outside of the law, not identifying themselves, not allowing us our rights. And that's just us as protesters who come to witness and document these raids. That's not even to speak to the even more intense violence that the farm workers themselves experience in the blocked off area. As you mentioned, where over 300 people from our community were taken.
ICE may deport migrants to countries other than their own just with 6 hours notice, the memo says. U.S. immigration officials may deport migrants to countries other than their home nations with as little as 6 hours notice, a top Trump administration official said in the memo, offering a preview of how deportations could ramp up. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement would generally wait at least 24 hours to deport someone after informing them of their removal to a so-called, quote, third country, according to a memo dated Wednesday, July 9th, from the agency's acting director, Todd Lyons. ICE could remove them, however, to a so-called, quote, third country with as little as 6 hours notice in exigent circumstances, said the memo. Who gets to determine that circumstance? That's the point. As long as the person has been provided the chance to speak with an attorney. The memo states that migrants could be sent to nations that have pledged not to prosecute or torture them without the need for further procedures. Now, some of you may feel as if that point about speaking to an attorney softens the blow. That would mean that you forgot that 2 months ago, Donald Trump defunded the federal apparatus so that all accused, including those who are in this country without the paperwork that this country says you need, they don't have the manpower now. One nurse posted on TikTok, quote, if you're near Glendale Memorial Hospital, go to the hospital lobby and tell them that ICE has no place in our hospitals. Glendale Memorial Hospital is allowing ICE to monitor a hospitalized woman, Milagro Solis Portillo, who was reportedly injured and handcuffed by ICE before being admitted. Here's ICE in the hospitals.
I'm going to go ahead and record record this for my safety because you're being aggressive towards me. I need you to leave me alone and stop staring at me. I'm asking you to leave me. I'm trying to eat my dinner.
This is our job. That's lunch. It's not dinner.
I don't need you to argue with me. I need you, sir, to respect my privacy and leave me alone. I don't need to take orders from you. You're not my boss.
It's not privacy.
Your colleague is asking you to calm down. I'm asking you to calm down. I need you to calm down and stop harassing me. Leave me alone and stop staring at me. You're making me uncomfortable.
That's good.
That's good. You want the people in the hospital lobby to be uncomfortable with you here.
You have no business to be here.
What was that?
You have no business.
I have no business to be here?
No, you get paid for that.
I'm getting paid for this? That's some kind of conspiracy theory.
You said nothing when they came to your neighbor's house. You said nothing when they decided to infiltrate the parks. You said nothing when they came to Home Depot parking lots. Now, who's saying something as they come to your churches, your places of worship, your sacred gaming events, your hospitals? Tehran, thoughts?
First of all, let me show the utmost admiration for that young lady and all the people that sacrificed their own time voluntarily to go and protect the rights and privileges of others. She's not the person who's involved in this. She's a person who's involved herself in this.
Right.
There's a big difference, and I have a lot of respect for that. Secondly, ICE is actually very appropriately named because they are some of the coldest hearted people I have ever seen. If they're so proud of what they do, then why do we see so many ICE enforcement agents covering their faces at all times? That cannot be comfortable. Weren't they the same people, a lot of them, who were upset when COVID mandated that we had to cover our faces? And now they're out there voluntarily covering their faces because they are ashamed, as they should be, for the brutality of what they do. Discrimination is not in the Constitution. It's something that we've made up. In fact, so much so that we are innocent until proven guilty. Now, a common myth, the Constitution only provides for citizens. That is not true. The Constitution provides for every single person in the United States at any given time. And we're talking about the 14th Amendment, which guarantees equal protection, as we see czars of ICE try to legalize racial profiling and discrimination. The 4th and 5th Amendments. These are things that we must fundamentally protect within ourselves because, as Dr. Richey pointed out, when they came for their neighbors, you weren't there. When they went for the people at Home Depot, you weren't there. That famous poem, when they come for you, no one will be there for you either. And trust me, they are coming for all of us.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, isn't it? That this has nothing to do with partisanship per se. That's why people in the political spectrum are confused about Trump's actions. This has to do with a proxy to power and the pawns who will get them there.